she married a man in his 50s. After much effort she finally got pregnant, but her mother-in-law doubted the baby was really from their family. That suspicion caused the young wife to lose her baby because of the old woman's cruelty. Yet the mother-in-law felt no guilt for what she had done. In anger she burned the pictures of the unborn child, along with the baby clothes prepared during the pregnancy. She even forced Min-soo to admit the baby belonged to her ex-boyfriend. If the daughter-in-law agreed to lie, the mother-in-law promised she would live comfortably forever. Seeing her mother-in-law's twisted expression, Min-soo finally lost control of her emotions. She couldn't understand why the old woman would do this. Just then her husband Tae-san saw her breaking down. The moment the mother-in-law noticed her son approaching, she immediately changed her tone, and accused her daughter-in-law of yelling at her first. Pretending to be hurt she claimed Min-soo lost the baby by accident, but blamed her for it unfairly. What she didn't know was that Tae-san had overheard everything. Hearing his mother's lies left him cold and disappointed. He realized his mother had always been the best actress in the family. Unwilling to forgive her anymore, he pulled his wife away in anger. The mother tried to explain not wanting her son to move out, but this time Tae-san's heart was completely broken. He firmly decided to take Min-soo and leave, letting his wife stay with her own family for now. It was the safest place for her to be. Back home Min-soo finally let out all her sadness. Even after her son left, the old woman showed no remorse. She even called Tae-san's ex-wife to her house, asking if she would consider returning to the family, hoping to break up her son's new marriage. The ex-wife had suffered under the old woman before. When she was younger she had been framed again and again, until she was forced to leave home. She wasn't foolish enough to fall into that trap again. At her age she only wanted some peaceful years ahead. The old woman grew furious when her plan failed, and told the woman to get out of her room immediately. The ex-wife then turned around and told Tae-san everything, advising him to cut ties with his mother completely. Otherwise he might abandon his new wife just like before. She reminded him that she was driven away years ago by his mother's schemes. If he didn't want history to repeat itself he should remember her words. Only recently had Tae-san seen his mother's true nature. He finally understood how much his ex-wife had suffered back then. Because he had trusted his mother too much he divorced her 20 years ago. This time Tae-san was determined to protect his current wife. He handed his resignation to his mother, leaving behind all family wealth, planning to walk away from that house with nothing. He quickly packed and prepared to start a new life with Min-soo, but his mother still refused to stop and kept blaming Min-soo, saying the daughter-in-law had turned her son against her. She threw away her son's clothes in rage, yet all her shouting couldn't change his decision to leave. As Tae-san drove to reunite with Min-soo, his mother's assistant suddenly called. The old woman had taken too much medicine trying to end her life. Hearing that made Tae-san pause in shock. He told the assistant to take good care of her, saying he no longer had any connection to that home. But though he said those words, his heart didn't agree. After struggling with his thoughts, he finally chose to go to the hospital. Because she was rescued in time her life was saved. At that moment Tae-san knew he had surrendered once again to his mother, because he could never truly abandon his family no matter how much it cost his own happiness.